just tap.
Hello, hello. It's Jeanette from Backroom Creations. Hi, Stacy. How you doing? Hope you're feeling better. If you wouldn't mind sprinkling me out, I appreciate it. My stuff won't load. Oh dear. Come on. Oh, it's one of those technology days, isn't it? Come on in and let me know where you're from. This is Jeanette with Backroom Creations. I was going to sprinkle just a minute, but oh, there we go. Still fighting tiredness. Yeah. Oh, hey, Deanne. Looky. Oh, girl, you're so crack me up. If you guys wouldn't mind sprinkling, I'd much appreciate it. Hi, Cheryl. How are you doing? So today we're going to make an ornament, decoration. It can be lots of different things. So this is my segment of Craft Around the Clock. If you want to see any of the other creators, you can go to Craft Round the Clock, not around, and see all there. I put the schedule on my page too, so you can see that. What we're going to make today is out of glitter foam. So what size are they? They are 12 by 18 sheets. I get them usually at Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby seems to have the best. So I like Hobby Lobby's colors. I was just working on one. So I'm going to tilt you down so you can see what I'm doing. Here we go. Hi. So I've already cut a piece. We're going to cut 1.5 inch pieces. Thank you, Deanne. So I usually put the glitter down. It's just a little less on my rotary blade. So I was looking for Floyd's. Hey, Miss Tracy. I was looking for Floyd's big yellow ruler, but I think he hid it from me. I put it back. I can't find mine, but I put his back when I use it. So we're just going to use 3 blocks, and that is 1.5 inches. But I did steal his little level, only because my ruler's not long enough. So you want to get these, you want to make them pretty accurate. So if you use a rotary cutter, you want to make sure that your blade is towards. Hey, Kathy, how are you? Towards your ruler or whatever it is, your straight edge. Yeah. You want as close to the straight edge as you can. And that's just how we cut it. So you need lots of these. Depending on how many colors you're going to put in there. Hi, Kathy. Good afternoon. Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, it is afternoon, isn't it? Hey, Crystal. Welcome, everybody. This is Jeanette from Backroom Creations. We're going to make a lollipop. So some people just set them in a vase. Wreath makers put them in wreaths. You can put them in centerpieces. Put them in your Christmas tree. Hi, Angela. I know you had to go to the doctor. But you can do so many different kinds of things with them. And, of course, they have glitter on them. So, they're my favorite thing. And if you have regular foam that doesn't have glitter on it, you can always use diamond dust. So we make a lot of these as wreath makers. We like to put them, especially at Christmas time. Christmas and 4th of July is probably the biggest season that I use those. So you need foam. The bigger the foam, the less pieces that you will have to use, because you'll have to connect them, and sometimes it can be a little bit of a pain. So you need 2, 3 different colors of foam. Here I did this one in 3 colors, and so that's a nice winter-ish. And then I use 3/16 by 12-inch dowels, and I stick them in the pencil sharpener and sharpen one end because we're going to need it to put it up into the foam. And then you need paper straws. They sell them at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Walmart, and the Celebration Party Center. And I have a whole box full of all kinds. I've got camo, you name it. If I see a straw that I don't have the color of, I gotta buy it. I was looking for orange. Everybody was out of orange. And then here a couple weeks ago, my husband was like, oh, there's orange. And I'm like, Halloween's over. I still got them. So anyway, all right. So we cut up a bunch of our colors. And like I said, this comes in regular flat colors too. So you can mix and match them. You can make it all flat. If you can't find glitter, you can put diamond dust on it. I found this color at Hobby Lobby. It's called bronze. Yeah, bronze. Isn't that pretty for Christmas? I thought, oh my gosh. I always have a candy tree. My big tree is always traditional, but my candy tree. Ooh, I'm going to make some of those. So after you cut these up, I usually connect 2 together. Now, here's where if you could use, yeah, it is pretty, isn't it? You could use hot glue. You can use tacky glue. You could use 2-sided tape. I was fortunate that, I don't know where Floyd got it. It is this huge roll. And when I say huge, huge roll of 2-sided tape. And it is super duper sticky. So back here. It happens to be the exact width of my foam. So here's how I do it. So if you had just the regular 2-sided tape, I would run it straight down the middle. Because here in a minute, you're going to see how we fold them so we have a nice edge on both sides. So if you only had skinny tape, you could run it straight down the middle so you could fold each piece into it. Okay? So we're going to connect and see how that, my ruler must have moved. So it's not huge if it's a smidge off. This is 1.5 inches, Deanne. You can make them wider. You can make them skinnier. I made some where I just fold it in half, but then unfortunately you have a raw edge. And then you could just like cut a big circle of felt or glitter foam and put on the back. If it's too much problems to fold them in the way I'm going to show you here in a minute. So I'll walk you through that here in just a sec. So I got 2 pieces, 1.5 inches thick of my foam. So, and this one is, hey Deb, this one is super duper tacky. If you get it off one edge a smidge, don't fret. So we're just going to run it down. And then what I do, it usually takes 2 or 3. Hi, Janet, how you doing? 2 or 3 strips of the 12 by 18 size foam sheets. Now, of course, if you buy the smaller ones, you're going to be connecting a lot of strips. But it can be done. Thank you so much, Deb. You guys wouldn't mind sprinkle me out. Oh, we only need 1 more, and I will draw names. I draw names at the very end. So I'm going to connect. There's fuzz over something. Listen, it is cold here too. There was a slight dusting this morning. So I'm going to take this edge and I'm just going to butt it up next to my other one. Now, there's a little bit of a overhang. I'm not worried about it. Don't fret over it. Fret over getting stuck to everything if you use industrial sticky stuff. But you can do it with hot glue. But I would do it with a detail glue gun, and then that way your glue is very, very thin. Okay? So we're just going to keep running this down. I have my big roll of two-sided tape on my mesh roller. So it helps me. But you could just cut pieces, like the Christmas tape. They have that in two-sided tape. You can just pull out pieces and do it where it's more manageable. It's a lot easier when you have smaller pieces. After Stacy bought me my mesh roller, I found this to be a good use of it too. So once we get to the end, we just cut it. See how this is sticking out? If it bothers you that bad, thank you, Luann. If it bothers you that bad, you can just trim it off. Okay? And that's all you're going to do. You're going to tape up, cut. This is two-sided tape, Deb. It's an industrial kind, but you can use the small kind like you can get from Hobby Lobby. And you'll just, so if you didn't have wide two-sided tape, I should have all got, it's on a huge roll. See this huge roll? It's really heavy. I dropped it on my foot one time. Ouch. But that is super duper sticky. I mean, regular two-sided tape is sticky too. So if you just bought the skinny, you would run it right down the middle. And if it's not very wide, you could run two. Or you can use hot glue. But like I said, you know how through foam, you have regular two-sided, awesome. So this is just glitter foam. And we cut it 1.5 inches. And you can use regular non-glittered foam. And then I put diamond dust on it. All right. So then after you've taped it, I always take my hand and just go down. Make sure that the tape is adhered to my foam. And then because I don't feel a lot in my, how's it going, Mom? I don't feel a little bit in my fingertips. I usually use my little Cricut tool to get the backing off. Winter's horrible because my fingers go really numb. So it always tears, and you just get it started there. So don't go pulling all this off because you will have a hot mess. I got a little fuzz in there. It's okay. So what I'm going to do is you're going to take it, and it don't have to be perfect. Oh, yeah. So I'll end up here showing you how I fold it together, but you can fold it over. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then you meet it in the middle. Try not to overlap it and push it down. Okay? So then you have finished edges on each side. So as I've gotten used to doing it, let's see how that didn't quite, I don't know if you can tell, it didn't quite, don't fret. It's not perfect. So if you only want to do one side at a time and then come do the other side, that's fine. Just don't pull on your sides. So like if you pull it, foam will stretch. So I usually just pinch it about an inch and a half down, and then push down. And then I just keep pulling my backing off my tape. So it looks a little wonky. You're like, how is that going to look pretty? It will. Trust me. Well, who is it? Says trust the process. Deb says that. Deb always says trust the process. Hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just pinching. And I'm meeting it up. It's not pushed down. And then when I got it where I want it, I push it down. Oh, we hit 30. I'm going to draw 5 names. Whoop, whoop. I know it's horrible to get old and decrepit, and I had such a horrible night with my back. It's cold weather. I know. I learned from you. Isn't it funny how we pick up on other people's comments? You know, Angela, when I first met her, and we met in one of the groups, and I'd always say, oh, I screwed up, or I made a mistake. No, there are no mistakes in crafting, only happy accidents. And sometimes a happy accident ends up being for the better. So I'm just taking my hand. Oh, thank you. Hi, Cindy. How are you? So I'm just pushing my backing down as I go. I actually was going to make something. It doesn't, Kathy. You are absolutely right. And I'm a bit of a perfectionist in OCD. So crafting has really taught me to just accept what is. And sometimes, in my girls in my group, Deanne and Stacy will always say, I'll say, well, that didn't turn out the way I wanted. And they're like, well, you showed us what not to do. So, yep, that's her favorite one. And that's Bob Ross. He says that. So a couple years ago, Walmart had a Christmas stocking with a picture of Bob Ross on it with the saying, the happy accident. I mailed it to her. So I can't remember. I haven't made these for a few months. If I needed to connect 2 or 3 to do the lollipop. So we'll start with 2. Just keep going to the end. So once I have all mine, and then you could take a roller. You love Bob Ross. I grew up watching Bob Ross. It is what it is. That's probably my, well, I probably shouldn't say my others. But I always say it is what it is. At work, I say it. I've said it for years. The little brayers, you can just bray it. You just want to make sure everything, all the different sides are down. So we'll finish our red here real quick. What I was doing when it was time to go live. I was actually next door in the grandkids' bedroom cleaning out their closet. My grandkids, 3 of my grandkids used to live with me, so I still have remnants of Lincoln logs and the little racetracks that you put together and the little remote control car goes on it. And Grandma don't need all this stuff. No, I think I have a Lowe's, but thank you, honey. Okay. My husband gave me a brayer. Yeah, he did. It came with this silhouette. So if you have a little brayer, you can just roll it down. Yeah. Other than I got glitter all over it. Okay. I'm always a hot mess express. If Luann's name wasn't, I changed mine to hot mess. Okay, so now we have 2. We're going to make one to match this. Okay. See how it's finished on the back? Okay. So a lot of people, I don't know if I've seen anybody do this. I use some little stick pins to help. Woo! With not a big head. You got to have their old-fashioned little, you don't need them long either. I think these are only, they're an inch long. This is why I have So if you don't know, I work at Harbor Freight. It's a tool shop, right? These are little tool containers. Oh, just the head came out. They're magnet for tools. Need to get me another one for those. Oop, there's one. It's a good way if you drop your pins. I could just take the little bowl and roll it all over the floor. Kind of neat. Okay. So you want to make sure that you have, this is your back side where you put your edges together. And you want back side to front side. So when you look at them, you have both your front sides. And if you think these colors don't go good together, I'll make a wreath in them. So you may not, when you're rolling this, be exactly even. But as you're doing it, you're going to hold it down on your table. So when we flip it over, this will be the front. It's like $4, Kathy. Not expensive at all. They have big ones too. When you flip it over, this will be your front and it'll be nice and flat. So like this is my front. It's all nice and even. This is my back. It's not too bad. But your wonkiness will be on the back. So what I do, you can see it, my middle is red folded over. Okay. So I want my edge to be about 1/4 of an inch longer. So I can start by folding my middle. If you bring them up to the end and fold it, you can. It's just, it's bulkier. I have found that it's a little bit easier to do it this way. Okay. Get all my stuff out of my way. I can just see me dumping those. So if you want to put a little, see, I just have a little detail glue. If you want to put a little bit on here just to get you going. But you're gonna make sure that everything is being held flat. And I usually put a little bit right in the beginning where I'm gonna fold that over. Okay, you see that? So this is your raw edge, and you fold it over about 1/4 of an inch. And then you want to wrap very tight and keep it flat on your table. It's a bit of a pain to get started, but once you have about 1 inch, and because I have a cutting mat, I know about 1 inch, I'm going to take one of my pins. I need my thimble out. And I'm going to put the stick pin in there. I bought a metal thimble. Yep. Probably have one at my sewing box, but so I take the metal thimble and use that to push in. Now you want to make sure that you have about 1 inch, because when you push that pin through, you're going to stab yourself in your thumb. And then I put a little bit of glue. So the way I was taught from somebody, Scott Waterman actually showed me how to do them, was that he just keeps round and round and round and round and round, and he glues them as he goes. Where I kind of do the stick pin, that's a little bit extra assurance, because you know glue doesn't dry right away. So you want to make sure you're holding it flat and just keep turning. And it's really up to you how many stick pins you add in it. But there are so many things that you could, I mean, let's talk primitive, Tracy. So you could use white or ivory foam, and you can coffee grunge that little foam up, or wait till you have it all done and coffee grunge it, and you can make a primitive one. Get you some dark, I don't know if they have dark red, like brick red. I didn't put no glue on that. It wouldn't have mattered much, but shoving those pins in does hurt if you don't have something. When I first started making them, I used my edge of my scissors. My grandma was probably up there turning in her grave, saying, "Get that metal thimble out." She taught me how to sew. So I'm gonna say I used 3. Because this was 2 hooked together. Or you could make candy pieces. Those are fun too. Now you can still attach it, even though we have already started making it. We can still attach some more, okay? So we already have a piece of blue. And do I have a red that's... I usually do it in sets of 2. So we have a blue one. Let's do a red one real quick. I get in teaching mode. Hi, Donna. Welcome. I get in teaching mode and forget I got to get this done. So, luckily, I am off today. Woo-woo. I'll tell my boss, hey, I need this day off, or I need to work early this day. They're like, why, you got a craft thing? I'm like, yep, I do. They're real good about working with me. This tape is super sticky. The tape from you buy at Walmart or Hobby Lobby is not quite as sticky. But it'll get the job done. And like I said, you can use glue, but you don't want to use any thick beads or else it'll be bumpy. Hi, Louise. Well, welcome. My name is Jeanette. I am Backroom Creations with my husband. He's at work right now. I'd love for you to follow. Be new friend. I'm less than 100 from 6,000. I try not to look every day because then I just psych myself up. But my middle name is Louise. Like I said, if it's not perfect, don't sweat it. We can just attach. You can make a huge one. I made one about this big. Okay, so here's our extra. We didn't know we were going to need it, but we do. I thought it was 3 pieces that I needed. It'll be okay. So we're going to get all the way to the end. Now, of course, because we're going around and around, one piece is going to be shorter than the other. Thank you, Deb, for welcoming new people. Deb has helped me so much. She's been in, I started my business as a wreath maker, but I've always loved all crafts. And you never know what I'm going to do. So we want to make sure that we put a pin here. So down the end of the blue. And then we're going to put one here to hold down the end of the red. Woo! I bent it. That's okay too. So see, I bent it. Let's see if I can get it in. If not, I'll chop it off. Yep, I got it in. So say that had bent over to where you could not get it straightened up. Just take a little pair of wire cutters and snip it off. Because that's not our end. Okay, so now we need to join. So let's join our blue. We'll make sure that we have the back side out. Gonna match the ends, and you want to put it as close as you can. And I put a little extra glue right there. Of course, we're going to ooze out too. You want to make sure that you push those together. And then I'll put a pin over here too. Those are actually red magnolias. But yes, they are. It's still hanging in here. I haven't taken it to the shop. Thank you, Janet. I know everybody thinks they're poinsettias, but they're actually red magnolias. Okay, so we got our blue joined. I got to get to hopping. I'll show you how to finish it. So you'll push it together as much as you can. You love magnolias. Yeah, the pins really do help, Kathy. It's just more stabilization. You know, they're not real long, but just long enough. So now we've got it just maybe going. Push it down. You don't want to like pull, but you want to pull kind of tight. I use a little more glue on the outside. See, they're right there, kind of oozed out, so just wipe it off. Now, when you get over here to the edge, lots of people end theirs differently. So, I end mine. I cut off the one on the end, or ones, because sometimes I use 3 colors. So I want my blue to be able to touch the blue here. And it doesn't matter how far you pull back. Mine's about 1/2 inch, because that way it looks a little more finished. You know what I did? Oh my gosh, I did it backwards. Okay, I'll show you how to fix it. So I put my outside on there. Oh no! Hot Mess Express. I'll show you how to fix it. I had a happy accident. So my blue, which you can't really tell, should have been flipped the other way. So you can take, should be red, but you can take another piece and just wrap it around. Because I had it flipped wrong. It's been a while since I made these. I know, right? Oh, lordy, lordy. All right, we'll go ahead and put this on here. Seems like I do that a lot sometimes. Okay. Make sure your outside pin doesn't get bent over. So now it's fixed, it's all pretty. So this side's going to be flatter than that side. So what you're going to do, normally you wouldn't have all this right here because I boo-booed. I know, Dean. All right, so we're just going to take a little or you don't want a big one because you don't want it to come through. And for heaven's sakes, don't hit your hand. But it's just to help get it started right there. And then, like I said, I have taken, let's use red. Yeah, we used red on the other one. So I took my little, oh, hey, Sue. I took my little dowel rod and sharpened it with pencil sharpener. And then don't push too hard because you'll break your dowel rod. I broke 2 this morning. I'll put some glue right there. If you don't put your pin close enough to the edge, you need to glue it. Thank you, Donna. So you can put some glue up in there if you feel, but it's not going nowhere. And then the 3/16 dowels are the perfect size to go over for a paper straw to go over. And I usually cut it just a little bit short, usually just with my scissors. And then I will put a little bit of glue on the dowel rod. Now it'll push that glue forward, which is fine, because then it glues it right there. So there's that part. So I got ribbon. Oh, thank you. Out the wazoo. I usually make bows, but this way we just need one loop. So we're going to a 12-inch piece of ribbon, or however big you want it. I'm going to overlap the edges just a little bit. No, Jana, I use AdTech. Gorilla Glue tends to have a lot of strings. And in wreath making, we know that drives us nuts. So I just glued that. We're going to find our center. Okay, so there's our center. Need to do this first. I just cut a piece about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. Thank you, Kathy. So the center of the bow, I don't want to be as wide as my ribbon. So, and this is really thin ribbon. It's just from Walmart. So I just fold it over to make a little middle. Okay. I have glue on my fingers. So this is going to be our little bow. Watching the time here. You know me. Okay. We're just going to glue it shut. Make sure I have my front down. I'll have a hem on the back, or a splice on the back. And then I usually take a little clip and hold it there for a minute while I kind of rearrange it a little bit. And then it's really up to you on your down here. You know, you could make these for all kinds of different holidays. I had a piece of this. Those are getting dull. And a piece of this. So, and I just tied it around it. After I tie it, I'll put on some glue. Yeah. Well, my Ryobi glue gun, it's not always the glue, Janet. It's the type of glue gun you use. Like if you have a Ryobi, those are hot. Those are really, really hot. So for my little stuff, I just use, it's a Sure Bonder detail glue because of the tip. Those are a little long. So let's trim them off. And then I want to put my glue on the lollipop and on the ribbon and stick. Oh, there's just all kinds of stuff you could use these for. All different kinds of themes, colors. hold that there for a sec. And there we go. And if you didn't know that I goofed, just to slightly look at it, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But you could put more ribbons on it if you wanted to. I could show you a Halloween one I made. I never used it. I actually used 2 ribbons. This one was just regular. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Kathy. These were just regular colored. Well, I guess the black has a little bit of glitter on it, but I put diamond dust on it. And then this is a layered ribbon. So I made it the same, but it's a little bit different. 3 colors instead of 2. I know, Janet. Deanne. I've shown you how to do these before. So this was a Halloween. I had a set of 3. Let's see what we got. You can also, I was going to show you something, but I think I took it in the other room. The Dollar Tree discs. Thank you, Donna. So you get 2 for 5 quarters now. And you can, now this is super duper chunky yarn. Where's my end? I get mine online. It's from Bacozy. And you can put these just in things, a bowl filler, put a lollipop stick on them. I am barefooted. You ratted me out, Janet. I can't stand to wear shoes or socks. I grew up in the country. So what you can do with the chunky yarn is you can start it. And I usually break off a U-pin and put one in there. This is a finger burner. And I usually use my other glue gun for this. But you just basically wrap this around in a circle just like we did the foam. Gotta pull it on me. And this goes really, really quick because it's chunky. I mean, you could use regular. Well, I bought a mat. I stand on an anti-fatigue mat because I have hardwood floors up there. This could be like for a whimsical Christmas. I had this as a backup in case I got done too early, which usually doesn't happen. But you can see how this fills up your area really, really quick. And you just keep on going, ouch, round and around and around. Once you get to the edge, you just flow over the edge right onto the back. My granddaughter likes to make these. Oh, I know. There's just so much stuff you can do with candy. So right here, I'll just go straight over to the back and then just keep going. All right. So I forgot who was after me. But you can go to Craft Around the Clock and see all the presenters from today. So here's what we made. So we usually do them in 3s. Wreath Maker's kind of got a set of 3 going on. And then you could do one of these. You can put a stick and a bow on it, or you can just put these in a bowl. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Cheryl. These are like my favorite non-traditional colors for Christmas. My dining room is always an elf. All right, guys, go and see the next crafter. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and your week. And we'll catch you here later. Bye, guys.